The West Ham Massive are pleased to support Iron Supporting Food Banks. They are a group of West Ham fans and friends inspired by the work of other football food banks around the country. They collect food and cash donations for a Nottingham food bank in Beckton, who supplies sub-distribution centres in the borough 7 days a week and hand out several hundred 3-day emergency food packs every month to families in need. They are also working with other groups to improve conditions for vulnerable adults and children in the Newham community. You can help by making a donation to their Just Giving page. You will find the link to this in the description section of the video details in this stream. Thanks for your support. Come on, you Irons. To the West Ham Massive. Thank you for joining me. Please don't forget to drop a like on this stream and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you haven't done so already, make sure you hit the bell icon for alerts on new content and click all. We thank you very much indeed for your support, and I want your comments in the section below afterwards, so please get stuck into that. So I'm recording this obviously the day after we beat Nottingham Forest 3-2 at London Stadium in the Premier League. Now, I'm not going to cover too much on the game itself, because obviously we're going to do that in the match review, which should be later on tonight as I record this. The one thing I do want to sort of like touch on, and I want to get your opinions on, as I say, comments below, please get stuck in, is I thought that there was something that happened in the match yesterday, which some people might have picked up on, some people might not have done. And I just want to sort of like get it out there, because I think it's a little bit of a subplot to all of the shenanigans and all of the rumours about the future of David Moyes. Is he on thin ice? Is he in until the end of the season? Yada, yada, yada. And I think that it happened in the 79th minute, and it was when David Moyes made a substitution, which I actually think was quite uncharacteristic. And there's an article that I read on Hammers News which also articulated a similar point to what I was thinking at that moment in time, is that on the 79th minute, David Moyes, with the scores locked at 2-2, makes a substitution. He takes off Edson Alvarez, who is a defensive midfielder, and brings on a striker in Michail Antonio. Now, I'll be honest, I don't know about you guys, but I think that was quite uncharacteristic. That was very un-David Moyes. I think that David Moyes normally in that situation would probably, with 10 minutes just about to go in the match, with the scores level, we've got a point in the bag, I think that there would be a very good chance that under normal circumstances, David Moyes would look to shut up shop and probably wouldn't look to take a defensive player off and put an offensive player on. Would probably think to be doing the reverse in actual fact, and just the old thing of respect the point. That I think would be normally what David Moyes' default position would be. But yesterday he was going for the win by that substitution. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that the substitution of Michail Antonio was a masterstroke on the part of David Moyes. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that substitution, it was the intent that it showed. And obviously we went and scored a goal a couple of minutes from the end. Thomas Soucek from a corner from James Ward-Prowse. We win the game 3-2. I do wonder whether it was a substitution that was born out of the fact that David Moyes, going into an international break on the back of the sequence of results that we've had lately, and whether it was off of the back of conversations that have taken place behind the scenes between, obviously, David Moyes and the hierarchy at the club, that have possibly let him know that, look, mate, you are seriously in trouble here, and you need to get a result here. I don't know, but the fact of the matter is that he made a substitution that was quite uncharacteristic, and I believe that was because he knew that a point wasn't going to cut it with the hierarchy. I think he knew that if he got a 2-2 draw, it wasn't going to be sufficient for him to be in a safe position. Now, also as another little subplot to this, which is already a subplot to the main game, we had the news that was broken on the West Ham network by Russie B as he was coming away from the ground yesterday. Who was at the game? Will Still. Now, is that a surprise? Well, let's look at it. He's a West Ham fan, so is it a surprise that a West Ham fan is at a West Ham game? Probably not. Is it a surprise that a manager of another football club is maybe on a bit of a scouting mission? Probably not. But the fact that Will Still is one of the names that has been linked should the vacancy come up. Now, that I don't believe is a coincidence. I think that there's something in that. Now, whether he was there, invited by the hierarchy, I don't know. Whether his representatives have approached the hierarchy at West Ham and said, hey, how about a little chat with our client? I really don't know. I'm a fan, same as you guys. But I do wonder, what would have happened if it had finished a draw? What would have happened even if we'd have got a defeat? As I say, I don't think a point would have been enough for David Moyes, and I think that was the reason for the substitution on 79 minutes. And as I say, I'm looking for little clues. I'm looking for little things to sort of like tell me what's going on behind the scenes. And I do think that we got it on 79 minutes with that substitution of Edson Alvarez off, Michail Antonio on, with the scores locked at 2-2. I don't believe David Moyes makes that substitution if he's on firm ground. I believe that he respects the point and he keeps things as it is. So that substitution being what it was, I believe, was born out of the fact that he knew he was in a bit of trouble if he didn't get another 2 points yesterday. And would he have known that Will Still was in the crowd? Would he have known that there was conversations going on behind the scenes? Again, I don't know. But football is, behind the scenes in sort of like, when you're talking Premier Leagues and sort of like top leagues in Europe, I'd imagine that there's plenty of people, there's plenty of whispers that are swirling around. It's possible that he may have known that Will Still was in the ground watching the game. I really don't know, but it'd be interesting to get your thoughts on do you think that substitution would have happened on 79 minutes with a defensive-minded player in Edson Alvarez being pulled off, the scores locked at 2-2, with an offensive player coming on? Would that have happened if David Moyes' job was safe? Or did it happen because precisely his job isn't safe at the minute? And what do you make of the fact that Will Still was at the game yesterday? Do you think that there's possibly some reasoning behind it other than just it's the fact that Will Still's a West Ham fan and he was watching his boyhood team, or that he's a manager of a continental club and maybe he's scoping out players on a scouting mission? Or do you think that maybe he was actually there for another purpose? And if so, what would that purpose be? I think I can probably draw a conclusion, and that I think that you probably are thinking along the same lines as me. But you've got a comment section below. Please do feel free to get stuck into that. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much indeed for watching the West Ham Massive. Please don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, drop a like on the stream, and don't forget to hit the notification bell, click all, and we will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Come on, you Irons.
The West Ham Massive are pleased to support Iron Supporting Food Banks. They are a group of West Ham fans and friends inspired by the work of other football food banks around the country. They collect food and cash donations for a Nottingham food bank in Beckton, who supplies 7 distribution centres in the borough 7 days a week and hand out several hundred 3-day emergency food packs every month to families in need. They are also working with other groups to improve conditions for vulnerable adults and children in the Newham community. You can help by making a donation to their Just Giving page. You will find the link to this in the description section of the video details in this stream. Thanks for your support. Come on, you Irons.